All right, let's go ahead. Call the meeting to order. Ask for a roll call, please.
Here.
Yes.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have minutes from our regular meeting, July 8th.
I move for approval of the minutes as printed.
Second.
Motion, a second to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 8th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those not, same sign. All right, thank you for those of you that are in attendance or watching on YouTube channel. Appreciate your attendance this evening. No public comment, right? All right, no public comment, so we'll move on to an agenda. I will need a motion to strike 8.4.
Also move.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second then to strike 8.4 from the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right, I look for a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right, moves us on to reports by admin. We have 8.1. Good evening.
Good evening. So tonight, the board is looking at approving the resolution of hiring a paying agent as a third-party representative that handles all the bond payment proceeds with the DTC, which is the Depository Trust Company. A paying agent would be responsible for making the bond payment and engaging in conversations and disputes with the DTC. The best comparison for a paying agent to the average person who doesn't deal with these legal terms all the time would be like hiring a tax accountant for your personal taxes. If you were ever audited, that tax accountant would then deal with the auditors directly. That's what a paying agent would do with the school in terms of any disputes with our bond payments for our bond issuances. So some benefits that include that a paying agent, hiring a paying agent include is they protect your bond rating by having another entity ensure that payments are made on time. Lenders looking to purchase debt see having a paying agent as a positive attribute. Credit rating agencies prefer districts with paying agents. It's a relatively low cost to the district, and we can pay the paying agent the fees that we have to pay them can come out of Fund 39, so it doesn't affect our operating budget. And if there's ever an issue, the paying agent will work directly through any paperwork and be a resource for questions that could potentially arise. So the recommendation tonight is that the board approve the resolution appointing Associated Trust Company National Association to serve as a fiscal agent in connection with the district's outstanding general obligation debt.
Any questions from the board?
So Ryan, just clarification here, they are only the paying agent. They cannot make any changes to our debt. They cannot do anything to modify the agreement for repayment. They are just the paying agent, correct?
That's correct. So currently, we send a wire to the Depository Trust Company, and it's a fairly complicated spreadsheet that we put together that breaks it out into different pieces of the payment. Once Associated Trust Company would be in place, we would send a wire directly to them for just the entire amount, and then they break out the pieces. They ensure that everything's correct with the interest and which bond issuances are getting paid at that particular time. They do all that for us, but they can't change anything. This is already in place.
Any other questions? If not, ask for a motion.
I move for the approval of the Associated Trust Company National Association to serve as fiscal agent in connection with the district's outstanding general obligation debt.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for that resolution. Ask for a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
That moves us on to 8.2.
Okay, 8.2 is a resolution to authorize general obligation bonds not to exceed $107 million. So this resolution and the next resolution are both coming back in response to the direction the board provided last month. So 8.2, initial resolution authorizing general obligation bonds in an amount not to exceed $107 million, reads as follows. Be it resolved by the School Board of the Beaver Dam Unified School District, Dodge County, Wisconsin, that there shall be issued pursuant to Chapter 67 of the Wisconsin statutes, general obligation bonds in an amount not to exceed $107 million for the public purpose of paying the cost of a school building and facility improvement project consisting of construction of a new middle school building and campus, including community and athletic space improvements, construction of additions, renovations, and building infrastructure improvements at Washington Elementary School, district-wide safety, security, ADA accessibility, recreation and site improvements, possible removal of all or part of the existing middle school building, and acquisition of furnishings, fixtures, and equipment.
Any questions? If not, look for a motion.
I move the board adopt the resolution to authorize general obligation bonds not to exceed $107 million.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for that resolution. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, that moves us to 8.3 then.
Yes, sir. 8.3, again, this is part of the direction that the board had set last month, bringing back the resolutions associated with. 8.3 is a resolution providing for a referendum election on the question of the approval of an initial resolution authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds in an amount not to exceed $107 million. So I will read this resolution for the board's consideration into the record, as well as specifically Exhibit B, which details out the question associated with this that would be presented on a ballot. It reads, whereas the School Board of the Beaver Dam Unified School District, Dodge County, Wisconsin, has heretofore duly adopted a resolution entitled Initial Resolution Authorizing General Obligation Bonds in an amount not to exceed $107 million, and whereas the school board deems it to be desirable and in the best interest of the district to direct the district clerk to submit the initial resolution to the electors for approval or rejection at the regularly scheduled election to be held on November 5th, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved by the school board of the district as follows. Section 1, referendum election date. The district clerk is hereby directed to call a referendum election to be held in the district at the regularly scheduled election to be held on November 5th for the purpose of submitting to the qualified electors of the district the proposition of whether the initial resolution shall be approved. Section 2, notice to electors. The district clerk is directed to give notice by A, causing a notice to electors in substantially the form attached hereto as Exhibit A to be published in the Daily Citizen within 10 days after the date hereof. B, causing a notice of election in substantially the form attached hereto as Exhibit B to be published in the Daily Citizen in the issue published on the fourth Tuesday before the referendum election. Exhibit B, just for clarity here, Exhibit B represents the question which would be seen on a ballot. It reads, shall the Beaver Dam Unified School District, Dodge County, Wisconsin, be authorized to issue pursuant to Chapter 67 of the Wisconsin statutes, general obligation bonds in an amount not to exceed $107 million for the public purpose of paying for the costs of a school building and facility improvement project consisting of construction of a new middle school building and campus, including community and athletic space improvements, construction of additions, renovations, and building infrastructure improvements at Washington Elementary School, district-wide safety, security, ADA accessibility, recreation, and site improvements, and possible removal of all or part of the existing middle school building, and acquisition of furnishings, fixtures, and equipment. Section C, causing, that ends the question. Section C, causing a notice of referendum which includes the facsimile of the sample ballot in substantially the form attached hereto as Exhibit C to be published in the Daily Citizen and the issue published immediately preceding the referendum election. This notice shall be posted in each polling place on election day. If any of the municipalities within the district use an electronic voting system employing a ballot label or ballot card, the notice of referendum set forth in Exhibit C shall also include a true, actual-size copy of the ballot label and ballot card in the form in which they will appear on election day. Section 3, polling places and hours. The district electors must vote at the referendum election at the times and polling places at which they cast their ballots in regularly scheduled elections. Section 4, referendum election officials. The election officials appointed at each of the municipalities within the district shall conduct the election. Section 5, the official referendum ballot form. The ballot to be used at the referendum election shall be prepared in accordance with provisions of Section 5.64 sub 2 and 7.08 sub 1 sub a Wisconsin statutes. The ballot should substantially in the form attached hereto as Exhibit D. The district clerk shall cause to be printed sufficient ballots for use at said referendum elections, both as actual ballots in those polling places which do not use voting machines, and as absentee ballots where voting machines are used, and as specimen ballots, the latter to be of a different and easily identifiable color from the actual ballot. The form of the ballot shall be filed with the official responsible for providing the ballots for the election, and the district clerk shall file a copy of the ballot with the clerk of each county having territory within the district as soon as possible after the date hereof, but in no event later than 70 days prior to the election, as provided in Section 8.37 of Wisconsin statutes. If the district prepares the ballots, they should be delivered to the municipal clerks running the election at least 52 days prior to the election to allow the municipal clerks to comply with their obligation to provide absentee ballots under Section 7.15 Wisconsin statutes. The municipal clerks of the municipalities within the district shall receive applications for absentee ballots in the initial, the same when issued to qualified absentee voters. Section 6, canvass. The returns of the referendum election shall be canvassed by the Board of Canvassers of each municipality within the district. Each Board of Canvassers shall certify the returns of the referendum election to the district clerk. The district clerk and 2 other reputable citizens appointed by the district clerk prior to the date of the referendum election shall act as the district's Board of Canvassers for this referendum election. This Board of Canvassers shall meet in open session no later than 9 a.m. on the Tuesday after the election to determine the result of the referendum election. The canvass shall be open to the public, and the district clerk is directed to give due notice of said meeting. Section 7, DPI notice. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 120.115 sub 1 Wisconsin statutes, the district clerk shall notify the Department of Public Instruction of the date of the referendum election and shall provide the department with copies of the initial resolution within 10 days after the adoption of the initial resolution, and shall further notify the department of the results of the referendum within 10 days following the election using the method prescribed by the department. That is the resolution.
Questions? If not, I would look for a motion.
I move that the board adopt the resolution providing for a referendum election on the question of the approval of an initial resolution authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds in an amount not to exceed $107 million.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for that resolution. Ask for a roll call vote again.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. The approval of these resolutions, I think, is another example of of the investment that we are making for our students and providing them with the safest, most efficient learning environment. Not only strengthen our community, but save money on future building repairs. These improvements will create opportunities for hands-on learning, access to advanced technology, agricultural education, and modernized classrooms, ensuring our students are well prepared for their future careers. We are also committed to engaging local subcontractors through this process, keeping taxpayer dollars in Dodge County and putting our residents to work. I thank the board for their approval of these resolutions. With that, we will move on to reports by the board, starting with 9. We do not have operations, did not meet. Teaching and learning did not meet. The next meetings will be the fourth Monday in September at their normal times. Just a note also, the board meeting in September is 1 week later, be the third Monday of September.
President Preview, just for the public, there is a board workshop that is going to be
Yes.
held this next Monday, the 19th of August, and that is a workshop whereby the administration, in particular the principals, will be presenting on their performance data and sharing out on their school success plans. That's something that I know we all look forward to.
Yep, thank you, Mark. 9.3, board engagement. Anybody from the board want to share any engagement opportunities they were involved with since our last meeting?
I had the opportunity to go to the new teacher breakfast this morning, and it was a really great opportunity to meet a few of the new hires, as well as talk to the administration that is either new or in different positions this year, so I was excited about that. Everyone looked happy to be there, and I'm looking forward to just a really great year.
All right. Anybody else? All right, with that, I move on to any recognitions that anybody would like to make. Oh, yep, sorry. Before we move on to that, I'll move up to board evaluation discussion. So recently, the board completed their evaluation of ourselves, the board. And I'd like to, at this time, just provide an overall summary of the results of that evaluation. The evaluation was done on a rubric system using a scoring system of 1 to 4, 1 being minimal, 2 being basic, 3 being proficient, and 4 being advanced. In this year's evaluation, 2023-24, the board averaged 3.5 or greater in all general categories, including 6 components, including government and superintendent relations, community relations, staff relations, business and operations, board leadership, and strategic plan. Within these 6 components, there are also 19 specific criteria that the board graded themselves on. The board graded themselves 3 or higher on all components except 4 that were rated basic by at least 1 board member. That included member involvement and contributions, parent community feedback, stakeholder engagement, district performance, and metrics. In comparison to previous year, there were also 4 basic areas identified, but only one of those 4 basic areas repeated this year, that being district performance and metrics. The board will continue to look at opportunities for improvement in these basic areas identified, specifically district performance metrics, as we continue to move forward. And I will provide a copy of those summary results and the evaluation to all board members following this meeting. Now we will move on to recognitions. Anybody like to make recognitions may do so at this point.
Just want to recognize the students and staff involved in Beaver Dam Area Community Theater productions this summer. They were fantastic. I caught Grease, Nemo, and Seussical since our last meeting. They've been busy over there, and just fantastic shows.
Anybody else?
Got a couple. Just wanted to recognize our new teachers and their buddies, who would be veteran teachers that are supporting them. New teachers began this week, as Joanne referenced earlier, and also want to thank all the administrators and the support staff that play a heavy hand in helping support this week and all the goings-ons. Also wanted to recognize our agricultural program, specifically FFA, as well as the kind of the feeder 4-H programs for all the work that they do in our community and all the work that they're doing to advance agri-science and agribusiness really in the future of our community, and just wish them well in the upcoming fair. A lot of them have a lot going on. There's a lot of time and effort that goes into preparing for that. And then I also wanted to take a moment to recognize our robotics program. I know that some people may have seen that the robotics program, some of the students were on the radio the other day, I believe it was last week, did an absolutely outstanding job. So their advisor, Mrs. Hemling, shared some information with us on that, but really a student-led program. She's obviously an outstanding resource for them, as well as some other adults that volunteer their time. But if you get a chance to hop on the Daily Dodge and check out the spot that they had where they were talking, it's really, really impressive to hear them talk about their passion and what they're doing. Wonderful representatives of our school community.
I move the board recess into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, paren 1, paren C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility specifically to discuss specific employees and employee groups.
Second.
We have a motion and a second then to move into closed session. Ask for a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 All right, we will move into closed session and reconvene back into open in a little bit. We're back in open session. We'll move on to 12.1.
There are 2 resignations for your consideration tonight.
I move the board approve the resignations as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second then to approve the resignations as presented. All in favor, say aye.
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 Same sign. All right.
There's 1 leave of absence for your consideration tonight.
I move the board approve the leave of absence as presented.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second to approve the leave of absence as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Not same sign. Okay.
There are 5 long-term sub-appointments on the agenda for you to consider tonight. 1 is Alicia Bishop for first grade at Prairie View Elementary School from August 27th to November 4th. 1 is Rhonda Boyd for English Language Arts at the high school from August 27th to November 25th. We have Casey Conger, Social Studies at the high school from August 27th to November 4th. Julie Laborde, Kindergarten at Washington from August 15th to November 18th. And Mackenzie Trutman, 3rd grade at Jefferson Elementary School from September 12th to December 12th. We also have 1 limited term employment for Mackenzie Tischler, special education teacher, literacy specialist at Jefferson Elementary School. And then Sawyer Breslow, English Language Arts teacher at the middle school. Yvonne Davidson, science teacher at the middle school. Cassandra Frenzel, 4th grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary. Kayla Hoppenthal, math teacher at the middle school. Molly Houlihan, special education teacher at Prairie View Elementary. Emily Kaditz, science teacher at the high school. Wendy Landvatter, 5th grade teacher at Prairie View.
I move the board approve the appointments as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the appointments as presented. Ask for a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that moves us on to 12.4. We have a board policy update, final reading.
I move the board approve the final adoption of the new Title IX policy as presented, as well as the updates to our existing Title IX policy in accordance with the new federal requirements.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second then to adopt that final reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those not, same sign. All right, and then we have some board policy updates, first reading.
Yes, you do. So for a first reading, the board has, we'll call it the fall Neola policy updates. So there is a brief in your packet or a resource that references and walks you through what those different policies are. Just to share, there are 3 new policies. 2 of them are, we'll call new to Beaver Dam. So policy 2230, again, this is all first reading, is curriculum course guides. This is actually a practice in many respects, but it really puts into practice, it really kind of hardens our practice by putting it in policy. 2370 is educational options provided by the district. Again, not necessarily a change in practice by any means, but solidifies those things. And in the past, there had been a policy option for that, so we're recommending that we actually do solidify those practices into policy. And then policy 5610.03 are alternatives to expulsionary and reentry plans. That is a new policy for your consideration at this first reading. There are also 3 policies recommended to be rescinded, and then I believe it's 28 policy revisions. Again, those are all in that document that's in your board packet. And then I would remind the board with the first reading that they do have the ability, there is a folder that they can access called Board Policy Updates, in parentheses, it would say Neola in it. So Mary does a great job of updating that, and that actually shows all the red line changes and things like that as we navigate each policy individually. So if you have a specific question on any of the policies that are listed, this first reading between now and the next board business meeting, you can probably find a little bit of the storyline in the line-by-line items that are in that folder, and then certainly please call me if there's anything that you want to talk through before you're asked to consider adopting them next month.
All right, thank you, Mark. Move on to 13.1, payment of claims.
I move for payment in claims in the amount of $6,033,891.58.
Second.
A motion and a second then to approve payment of claims. Ask for a roll call vote, please. Yes.
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 All right, ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.